guys, it's Joy. Welcome back to my channel. This week I have my week 44 bullet journal set up. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button if you enjoy the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any future videos. If you're planning with me, grab your bullet journal, otherwise grab some tea and let's get started. So as always, I start with the background and I do this with watercolour. So I have blue at the top for the sky and then a sap green sort of shade at the bottom for the grass. If you've ever used watercolour, you may have noticed that I have not used masking fluid to mark out the main tree trunks and branches. This is because I'm using acrylic paint to do the main illustration and I'm using quite dark and opaque colours, so I'm not worried about the blue and green of the background showing through. I've used raw umber to do the main tree trunk and branches, and then I'm also using some Payne's grey to go over some of the branches to make them stand out. For the leaves, I've left in most of the footage but just sped it up so you can see the whole overall process. As with my October setup, I load up my brush with paint and just dab it around the different branches to make the individual leaves. I then work in layers to build up the colours. The biggest tip I can give is to just let each layer dry. You don't want the paint to blend in together. What you want is for the layers to sit one on top of the other, and this just adds some depth to the leaves and to the overall illustration. And I did exactly the same thing with the leaves for the branches at the top, except I made the leaves a different colour just to add some contrast between the foreground branches and the background tree. Once I was done with the main tree and branches, I then added some fallen leaves at the bottom. To do this, I used the back and brush end of my paintbrush because I found I was able to get smaller dots, hence smaller leaves, with the back of my brush. Here, I'm just using some dark paint to go over some of the branches and add in some extra little branches. This adds depth to the illustration by making it look like there are some branches in the background that are covered by the leaves, while other branches are more prominent in the foreground. It just makes the whole thing come to life. True love, don't wait for any man. I switched it up a little this week by having the lines of the layout be different colours. So if you've seen my other setups, then normally I just do a black line for them, but I like this idea with sort of a colour gradient similar to sort of like changing leaf colours. And I had sort of 8 main sections, so one for each day of the week and then one for my task box. What we have isn't just another hopeless romance when you're young, so darling, take my hand. I'm using the Browse 361 nib for the calligraphy for this spread. You can see that I've already done the lettering in pencil and I'm just going over it with the nib. I think if you're really confident with your calligraphy and you're able to get it exactly how you wanted first time with a brush pen or a nib, brilliant. But I've not always been successful when I've done that approach, so I used the pencils first here just to be sure that I got the style that I wanted. And now I'm just writing in the numbers with my Archer and Olive Calligraphy white pen because I found that actually that showed up the best on top of the marker. I feel like this is a recurring theme, but I wasn't completely happy with the lettering that I'd done, so I covered it up with some black marker and redid it again. So that's it for this week. I hope you liked the spread as much as I enjoyed making it. I think this is actually my favourite weekly spread that I've done in October. Anyway, hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and follow me on Instagram to see more of my spreads and layouts. I'll see you in the next one.